Hey guys, Darkster here with a BlizzCon coverage video for you guys. I know I said I wasn't going to do this in like one of the prior videos, I think it was the vlog. Also in the vlog, I talk shit about WoW and I'm like, I'm done with WoW. I don't ever want to do PvP because it's not serious anymore because I play Dota now. Fucking ate those words with BlizzCon today. After watching BlizzCon today, I'm taking all that shit back. I shouldn't have released that video. I spoke too soon for that shit, for sure. But quickly before we get into BlizzCon and quickly cover everything, I want to tell you guys that I linked a video in the description talking about MMOs as esports and why they don't work and the changes I think that they basically simply put need to do to make things more competitive for a serious esports for an esports PvP game basically. And I released that video yesterday night. And today, Blizzard basically answered a few of those things that I brought up. And we're going to get to that. But quickly, before we get into that, I'm going to go over some of the more lighter announcements, and then we'll go into the WoW expansion. So first of all, Hearthstone, they basically said they're going to do an iPhone and Android app. It's fully supported by Android now. They're working on it. So people that had Android devices and Android tablets and stuff, you will now have access to this game now, which is really great for you guys. iPhone, originally it was supposed to be just iPad, basically, for portable gaming or portable Hearthstone, but they've announced that they're also doing phones as well. They're going to do the iPhone and iPad app still in development, but it's getting close. And also next month will be the start of open beta for Hearthstone. They said next month, but right after they said it, they basically said we're Blizzard, so this might be a little later than next month. They're always, always expect later than what they say is pretty much what they said. So they're saying next month, but it can be kind of next 2-3 months for all we know when it's Blizzard. It's finished when it's finished is what they always go for. So expect that. But Hearthstone-wise, they went over a lot of stuff about Hearthstone, just development and how it came up. But when it came to news, this was probably the big stuff. I might be missing some stuff, but you guys can find that shit anywhere else. This is what I just found out. This is what I consider important, personally. Another thing, Heroes of the Storm, which is basically Blizzard All-Stars, which was originally Dota. Blizzard Dota, that's what this is, Heroes of the Storm. I kind of like this name the most. I didn't really like it at first when they first announced it in like the cartoon thing that they showed. Like a week ago. I was like, Heroes of the Storm, but it actually really works because the of the Storm part, you can just lose that because we all short form this shit to Heroes now. It's like, hey guys, you guys want to play some Heroes? And that sounds fucking awesome to me. I think, I don't know. Well, you guys want to go play some Heroes? I sure fucking do. What's Heroes? I don't even know what it is, but I want to play it. I want to be a hero. That sounds awesome. So I think they got the right name here. But yeah, speaking of Heroes. From what I can tell and what they showed, this doesn't seem like it's competing with Dota 2 and League of Legends and stuff. They said themselves, they had like a Q&A thing after the main panel for this, and they said themselves that they don't want anyone, or they didn't say they don't want anyone, but they said some guy came up and he was like, how are you going to compete with people that like Dota and League, and why would people play Heroes over Dota and League and all those other games? Well, they basically answered with, because they want to. Because they want to play Heroes over those games, they will play them. They only want, they said basically if you want to play the game, you'll play it. And they're really not in the scene of competing with these other guys. It's just like, if you want to play it, come fucking play it, because it's a good game, and they know it's a good game. But from what I saw, it seems like it's a lot more simplified in the sense, I don't want to say simplified, because to be honest, Dota and League, when you look at them in a bare bones perspective, they actually also seem simplified, so calling this game simplified isn't really fair. But it does seem more simpler than, its competition, or its said competition. But from that perspective, like, it looks fucking fun, alright? That's the thing, it looks fucking fun. They said they're going to shorten the times overall, games shouldn't take longer than, I think they said 20 minutes is the soft spot or something like that. I think it's 15 or 20 minutes, so games are going to be shorter overall. There's a lot of stuff happening here. There's a lot of stuff going on when it comes to Heroes. Little things like they said support classes are played differently here because they have the whole group experience gain. That's another thing, group experience. Unlike Dota and League, when you have a character that might not be extremely good when it comes to support, and they might become better later on in the game and stuff, it's none of that stuff. You don't get that aspect of, oh, this character's going to get better later, but he's shitty right now, and I'm possibly might be feeding the other team. You don't get that case anymore. You will get experience basically anywhere on the map, from what I can tell, based on what your team is doing, what they're able to do. You will still be getting experience, so you'll still be helpful. Now, what's the point of you still getting experience? Can't you just sit at home base and do stuff? The way to design some of the classes is they show this one guy, which is kind of like Lifestealer from Dota 2, where he's like able to jump into other people. But the way they set this guy up is he can jump into other people from pretty much anywhere on the map. He can just jump into someone and give them like buffs and then add things to their abilities and stuff, and then he can go and grab the Dragon Knight thing and he can become Dragon Knight and then fight. It was epic. It was really very well done. The look of the game, very pretty, I think. It looks, the best way I can explain it, the way it looks, and you guys probably seeing some kind of footage, but the best way I can say that it looks like original Dota with better graphics. That's what it looks like. It's like a current version of the original Dota, and I think it looks great. I'm very excited to play Arthas, the Lich King, not normal Arthas. They have normal Arthas, like pre-Lich King with Frostmourne, and then they have endgame Arthas, you know, Lich King Arthas with Frostmourne and everything. It's really cool. I think it looked great. They showed us some skins and stuff too. Hopefully I can find some pictures of that. If I can't, I'm sorry. You guys can probably Google search it. But yeah, Heroes of the Storm. Very interested, very fun-looking game. I think it does have potential to be esports. I think it does have potential to be competitive, seeing as how the game evolves. But as of right now, they don't seem to be really shooting for that. That being said, it just looks fun, period. That's all there is to it. Now, Diablo and StarCraft, I wasn't really excited for myself, so I never really looked into it too heavily. But Diablo, they're doing their whole, canceling the auction house thing. They're getting rid of it. They're changing up different ways. Basically, the map reacts to randomization and stuff, mixing up creatures, all that stuff. If you guys are interested in Diablo, this isn't really where you want to come to see that. You're probably better off searching YouTube for better coverage on that, or searching Google. And same thing for StarCraft. I didn't look into anything about StarCraft. I'm just not a StarCraft player, so I never really took care of that. So, yeah, if you guys want to see StarCraft stuff, go somewhere else. I have no idea what to do about StarCraft. But the biggest fucking news, World of fucking Warcraft. That's what we're on right now. And we're talking about the new expansion, which is officially named Warlords of Draenor. And I'm going to give you guys a quick summary of this. But before that, I'm going to give you guys something that they brought up on the stream, on the live stream. If you guys remember the title, The Dark Below, and everyone basically heard that title and they thought, this is the Blizzard game. It's like, here we go, here's the Blizzard expansion. One of the guys in one of the panels, he basically brought up, he said that The Dark Below wasn't actually by them. It was like some third party, some fan or somebody in the company or someone just decided to register that name with some kind of Blizzard trademark, alternate name or something. And everyone just basically thought, oh shit, it's Blizzard's fucking expansion. And everyone basically went off on the internet. And what Blizzard did was they basically just stayed quiet because it threw everyone off the scent of Warlords of Draenor. It completely threw everyone off its scent, and it worked out perfectly for them. They had nothing to do with it, but it just worked out. And the Dark Below was just something that happened. It had nothing to do with them, pretty much. So I thought that was a little interesting for you guys to know. But ignoring all that, what is the Warlords of Draenor? The Warlords of Draenor is a new expansion. The overall summary of the story is it follows basically the end of the Siege of Orgrimmar. And if you guys know what happened in the Siege of Orgrimmar, Garrosh basically got taken down. And what happens at the start of this expansion is he is being executed, or he's going to be executed or exiled or whatever. He's going to be taken out, right? He's going to a bad place. He somehow gets away and teams up with some, and they never say who this guy is that they team up with. They always say like this person or this guy or this dude that controls time somehow or has time travel powers. And basically what he does with this time travel power is he gets sent back, and Garrosh gets sent back to Draenor. Now what's Draenor? If you guys don't know what Draenor is, it's basically Outlands. Draenor is what Outlands was before it became Outlands, before it got, exploded, before it went pop and became Outlands. It was originally Draenor when it was still one piece. Draenor is also where like the Draenei and the orcs and stuff all came from. Now, why is Garrosh going back to that time? Why is he going back in time to Draenor? He's going back in time to Draenor because he hates the Horde now. If you guys don't know this, Garrosh is like a serious fucking racist dude. He's like the Hitler of the World of Warcraft universe in a way. He thinks orcs are the superior race, and even within orcs, he thinks the red orcs, like himself, are the superior versions of the orc. And he always loved the Horde, but now he hates the Horde. He thinks it's horrible, it's disgusting, how it never worked out for him, and he hates the Horde now. And basically he always hated like night elves and all that, and now the Horde has pandas and shit, and even I'm pissed off about the fucking pandas, so he must be really fucking angry about the pandas. So he's going back in time to when the orcs were still red orcs. They were still red, and they didn't drink the shit that made them all green and corrupted and shit. He's going back to that time to basically go, hey fuckers, let's make a new horde, or let's make the horde, but his version of the horde with only red orcs, and then he's gonna create that horde and then come back in time to our time and fuck up the current horde, right? That's his plan. There's some fucking problems here though. Let me point out some continuity issues here. And here's the thing. Here's another thing. This pisses me off about Blizzard all the time. They always do this shit with time travel, and they always do this convoluted shit where they don't seem to really understand what they did. Like, the thing is, there's other movies and stories that have time travel in them. You know, there's like Looper, and I think Primer is the name of like that really crazy movie where you have that time machine and shit. And you have these movies that involve time travel, but they always try to go out of their way to make the time travel make sense, to make it have as much continuity as possible in that world. It never does, because it's time travel. It's always going to be fucked in some way. There's going to be some kind of loophole. But they try to make it make sense. The thing is, when WoW does it, they always use it as like a cop-out. Like, shit, what do we do now? Let's use time travel. And that's basically what it feels like here, because it's like, he's going to go back in time, right? Garrosh is going to go back in time, and he's going to try and get these red orcs before they become corrupted and shit. What does that mean? Like, does he go back in time to our current time, like in our actual past of Azeroth, and he goes and stops those orcs from like drinking the vials and shit and becoming corrupted? Because if he does that, wouldn't that just automatically kill the horde in our present time? Or is he going back to a parallel universe? Is he going back to a universe of the horde that didn't exist? Or it's the same thing but existed in a different parallel universe, and he's going to get those guys, and then he's going to come back to our universe in current time and then fuck us over? Like, that's the question. This is the fucking continuity shit. And here's the thing that pisses me off even more, is when they were talking about it, as they were explaining it, they said, in our current continuity. It's like, well, you already know you fucked yourselves. You already know it's fucked now. You know it's fucked, and you just keep going with it. Stop doing the time travel shit. And if you're going to do the time travel shit, try and explain it better. I don't know. The truth is, though, I think they already clarified that Garrosh's plans don't really go according to plan. Which kind of cops them out of the whole problem of continuity. They can be like, oh, he never really got them across to our time and all that. Whatever, you guys can go look at the details on Google and shit, but that's basically the gist of the overall story. You know, that's what happens, and you basically end up back there too, and there's new monsters and stuff to fight. But what are some features of the expansion? What are like new shit that they're adding on to the expansion for you to be excited about? Well, new character models. That's a fucking big thing. This is something people have been asking for a very long time, and they showed the dwarf, the orc, and the gnome, and all three of them looked freaking great. They also, when they changed the character models, they raised the textures and everything, but they also had to change the animations. They had to increase the animations. They made it better. They showed some walking scenes. They didn't show a lot of animations. The orc and the dwarf, they only showed them walking. And they showed the gnome dancing. And from what I can tell, it didn't look like too much of an upgrade, but you can see like 2 extra frames in every movement, animation. Like, you can see that there's 2 frames missing pretty much in the older one. There's like 2 extra frames in the new one, and it makes a difference. Like, you really see the smoothness of it, so I like that. So new character models is great. I can't remember if they clarified who gets the new character models, if it's just the original races, because the older or the newer races, like from Goblin up, are pretty kind of up to date. But is it only the old ones? I'm pretty sure Pandarians are pretty much set. They're not going to get an update. But is it everything before Pandarians, or is it everything before Goblins and stuff? So I don't remember that. Hopefully you guys could find out for yourselves, searching on Google or whatever. But yeah, moving from there, we have Auto Level 90, an automatic level 90 character. So what is this? You only get 1, by the way. Something I misunderstood when they first announced it. I got so excited. I was like, fucking level 90s for everyone? Yes! I'm going to have a 90 of everything. No, I'm not. I'm not going to have a 90 of everything. It's 1 level 90. You can get 1 guy to level 90 instantly. That can be a level 1 dude. That can be a level 85 dude, for all you care. It doesn't matter. He gets moved up to level 90. They're doing this because there are a lot of people that have played WoW that have quit early on, like in Wrath or BC or even Kata and shit, and they just never came back. And they might be thinking of coming back, but they don't know where to start. It's like they just got this dude that they don't know. All his abilities and stuff are different. Where do you begin? You have to catch up now. Basically, with this, you get an instant 90. You get, some armor and shit, and it's basically just GG. Go and do the content with everyone else. Another big thing about this is, if you just want another class that you never had a chance of leveling, you never had the time for, just get them. You just get your Feral Druid. That's what I want. I want a fucking Feral Druid. That's what I'm going to use this on. I'm gonna get a Feral Druid. I'm gonna play that motherfucker out. All right. So if you got like a class that you wanna, you never tried but you wanna play, you have an instant 90 now for them. And finally, the last reason behind this is because of new players. People that want to play this game, but they don't know where to begin. They don't want to catch up. They don't want to start from level 1 without any experience in the game. Well, don't worry about it. You can just fucking grab yourself a level 90 and just play with your friends. You don't have to keep begging your friend to grind with you or play with you, and he doesn't want to play because he doesn't want to play a level 1 dude because he has all his characters and shit. You guys know what I'm talking about. That problem taken care of. So GG, fucking good job. I love the auto level 90 thing because you have so many classes now that's like, you can't really do every single one unless you really put some time into it. And I really want a Feral Druid, so perfect. And for the people that might go off being like, oh, this is catering to the casuals and shit. Fucking World of Warcraft is a casual game at this point. It can be competitive when you're doing world PvP, not world PvP, world first PvE and doing high level arenas and shit. But otherwise, don't fucking act like you're all pro and shit. You're not, okay? If anything, this letting people or letting new players have access to endgame characters and shit, if anything, that will allow you to have better players in the world and then again add more players into the overall world, making it seem more full, having more people to play with. Because the thing is, there's a serious case of, and a possibility of really good players, high-level skilled players that are able to do PvE amazingly, that are able to do PvP amazingly, that just don't have access to the game because they don't want to go through the process of leveling a new character. With this, they are able to play. You might find someone that had an instant 90 that is now able to help you in some way, that is able to do 2s, 3s, 5s, RBGs, and be in your PvE raid group, but he never would have had that chance, or she would have never had that chance if they didn't have access to this instant 90. So you shouldn't look at it as catering to the casual. Sure, it might be a little bit, but it also might cater to the pros in a way. You got to look at it from both sides of the perspective. So yeah, GG, great job with the fucking level 90s. I'm excited for that. Another thing, the garrison. And what is the garrison? It's basically player housing. They're allowing you to basically put like inns and have armor smiths and like profession things and your bank and like all that shit in like an area. And you get to it's not even like a predetermined area. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to throw this spot in this huge area where everyone just kind of has the spot. No, you get to decide where your garrison goes. And you get to put it in Northrend if you want. You can put it next to Orgrimmar if you want. It's wherever the fuck you want to put it. You can put it down there. And it's like its own instanced area, pretty much. You can fly in there. And I don't know. I wasn't really clarifying. I wasn't really sure about what they said about this. But I don't know if you can see other people's as you fly around, or if it's just yours that you see in that same spot that you leave it. I'm not completely sure about this. They didn't explain it too well. But either way, I think it's a cool idea. In my personal opinion, I think I'm really excited about it. They were covering a lot of stuff. There's like tier leveling and stuff for certain buildings. You level certain buildings higher. And minions and people that you meet in the world, like NPCs that you meet in the world, you can actually like recruit them and name them and bring them back to your garrison, and they'll be walking around your garrison. And I think they talked about your pets and your mounts and stuff chilling in your garrison. It's a very cool idea. This is something that a lot of people were interested in, but never really got. They originally planned to have guild housing and like player housing back in vanilla. They were basically they had it in the code, like in the code of the game when people like data mined it and stuff. They found like player housing in Stormwind and shit, but it never got put into the game. The only reason they never put it into the game though is because Blizzard was worried that it would affect the home cities, basically, that people in the home cities would just stay in their guild housing and shit and never leave. And I still think that might be a problem. Like, they didn't really answer the question. Someone asked the question, that exact question in the Q&A. They're like, weren't you worried about people not being in Orgrimmar and shit, and just sitting in their homes? And they kind of just brushed that question over. They never really answered it. So, still something to think about. Going from there, they're adding a new world PvP area, and it's basically world PvP. This isn't an instance map. This isn't Alterac Valley or Isle of Conquest or whatever. This is an open spot. This is an area on the map of your physical like Draenor map where you just fly to or you get to, and just world PvP. It's the equivalent of faction versus faction in Elder Scrolls and WVW in Guild Wars 2. That's basically what this is, and this is one of the things I was bringing up in the video that I linked in the description. If you guys do check it out. Basically, what I personally prefer when it comes to PvP and MMO, you need to have the massive aspect of it. Like, I feel like 2s, 3s, 5s, 10v10, RPGs and shit, they kind of lose the perspective of an MMO, the massive experience of it. You know, a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. You lose the massiveness when you go below 10 players. And it seems like this style of PvP is really what's interesting. This is the kind of PvP that I think MMOs need to really kind of sell the game, because competitive PvP is never going to work competitively when it comes to MMOs. But, you know, World PvP area, they said it's going to be very reminiscent of the original Alterac Valley back when, they basically said back when you would go into an Alterac Valley in the morning, you would do some stuff, you would still be playing, you'd be playing, and then you'd have to log off to go to work or something. Then you'd come back, you know, hours later in the day and log back into the exact same Alterac Valley that you started in the morning. That's how long Alterac Valley used to go for. They're basically saying that's how it's going to be for this too. It's going to be the same thing. There's not going to be a consistent point system or anything. There's not going to be like, oh, the Alliance wins or the Horde wins. It's just going to be consistent battles over and over again. I don't know if they said anything about a ranking system, but they said, you know, for servers that have a high Horde population or high Alliance population, they'll actually use their, you know, server phasing system and basically phase in people from other servers that have the same problem. So if you're on a server that has a huge Horde population, you might get phased in with people from like Alliance servers that have a huge Alliance population, and then you guys will just be fighting each other. It works out, like it really does. The stuff they were talking about with this really interested me. So yeah, basically that for the World PvP side. I'm really excited for this. Going from that, structured, balanced PvP. I can't remember exactly what they called this. I'm very sorry for what they called this. I can't remember it. But it's basically the equivalent of the Mists in Guild Wars 2. And this is something else that I brought up in the video linked in the description. Click it, guys. Just fucking click it and watch it. Basically, what I brought up in that video is how Guild Wars got it right when it came to structured PvP. How you should be able to access it early on. This isn't perfect. I know you have to be a max level character to basically access the World of Warcraft equivalent of this. But it's the right path. They're going down the right path. And basically, you want to do arenas. They didn't say RBGs, but I'm guessing RBGs as well. But arenas and RBGs, you come into here, you queue up through here, and you have access to armor and weapons, gems, and professions and stuff. I don't know about gems and enchants, actually, but they said professions. So professions, armor, and weapons for sure are going to be there, and you can just switch them out and pick the ones you want and need and basically just queue up to PvP. It's basically the Mists from Guild Wars 2. Pretty much done that almost the same way as well, and this is how it should be done. It's all standardized armor. You're probably wondering, what are you going to do with your old armor sets? What about your seasonal gear that you can get through doing battlegrounds and this kind of same PvP here? It's the same arenas and stuff, right? What happens to those points? What happens to your honor and conquest? Well, basically, you can still spend it for your physical world character, for the character that you have in the open world, for the world PvP, because the world PvP still reacts to the same situations. You know, you still have to get the gear from doing these things to get to do world PvP. It's just that when you're doing arenas, when you're doing RBGs in this concentrated, structured area, you'll be still getting the points, but you're going to be spending those points on the world side if you still want it, or just spending it on heirlooms and mounts and stuff. You know, whatever you want, pretty much. If you're only an arena player and you have no interest in doing this world PvP, it's just extra points for you. You know, just spend it on shit, buy mounts and stuff. I don't know. But I mean, so fucking well done. Just a few hours ago, I uploaded the vlog where I was talking shit about WoW. I'm like, I'm done with PvP. I'm not interested. I'm gonna be doing Dota instead. I'm more interested in Dota for PvP and all that. And when it comes to competitive PvP, I still am more interested in Dota. But I'm not a competitive player, and I'm never going to be in Dota. I suck at Dota. I suck at MOBAs. So I mean, this is just exciting to me. Like I'm just really excited about WoW being more, you know, constructed, being more balanced, or getting into at least the line of trying to be more balanced with this stuff. And even more than that, the biggest thing I wanted was proper world PvP, because world PvP as it is right now, basically dead on anything other than Kill Jade, and even on Kill Jade and Ruinous jumped over to Darkspear, you know, Horde too. So it's like world PvP is kind of just fucking dead all over the place. And this is just really going to stimulate that, what they're doing here. And then aside from that, the constructed PvP is now going to be actually constructed. It's going to be, hey, we didn't lose these guys because they outgeared us. It's like they actually just beat us, or they might have countered comp to you. But that's, you know, you can't win them all. You know, you can't win all the battles. Blizzard's still working on shit. You know, they got the overall idea now, though. That's the thing. They got the bare bones basics down, and I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I'm currently not subscribed to WoW though, so I don't see myself subscribing again until this expansion comes out, because there's really no reason for me to. So I'm probably just gonna wait for the expansion to resub, get my instant 90 and shit. It's gonna be great. I'm excited for the expansion though. I'm not gonna resub because I just want to hold on to. I don't want to just throw $15 a month away, but excited. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm excited for this expansion in general, and just Blizzard games in general. Like Diablo for PS4, I'm gonna be getting a PS4. The freaking Hearthstone, fucking love that game. I'm probably gonna be doing another 50 pack opening or 40 pack opening. Sorry. So look for that. If you guys want to see the original 40 pack opening, the first one I did, I'll link that in the description as well. And Heroes of the Storm, excited. It's so good. Blizzard, man. Blizzard's so good. I underestimate them way too often. I'm sorry, Blizzard. I'm sorry for ever underestimating you. You guys are awesome. I love you. I want you to have my babies and give me a job. Okay, that's all. I'm rambling now. That's it. This video's over. Please subscribe, rate, and comment. Tell your girlfriends, tell your moms. They fucking love me. And yeah, Darkster out. Peace.